again, and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today, I'm going to talk about the Dead Kennedys for the first time. And you know, when I talk about a band for the first time, you know what that means. It means I'm going to talk about them a little bit more. Not only is this the first time I've talked about Dead Kennedys, I do believe this is the first time I've talked about a punk band. There is another one coming up. I don't know when I'll get to it, or them. Leave a comment down below if you think you know what band that is. It's not the Ramones, or just Ramones. It's not them. I don't like Ramones. So place your bets, put your guesses in the comment section down below, as YouTubers like to say. If you think you know, Dallas, your vote or your guess doesn't count, because I think I told you about this some months ago. But what's the other punk band I'm going to talk about? That doesn't matter, because today I'm going to talk about Dead Kennedys. I'll talk about my history with the Dead Kennedys. To be honest, it's pretty short. It's not very deep. I don't have a lot of history with Dead Kennedys. I actually have almost nothing. I need to change that. They're one of these bands, you know, there are bands, I've talked about some of these bands before, that you kind of wish you were into and you want to be into, and you just for some reason weren't. You know, you missed the boat. They weren't on your radar, whatever cliche you prefer to use. I think that's kind of what happened with me with Dead Kennedys. None of my friends were into them. I was into punk a little bit, not nearly as much as metal, but I liked some punk. My real only history with Dead Kennedys was, I've talked about this before, I used to listen to this radio show, a college, university we call it in Canada, university radio station called CKLN 88.1. It was from, I think, Ryerson University. And this guy, Brian Taylor, used to do a show on there, and I've referenced him in this show many times. And that used to be on, the show was called the ARG Rock, or Aggressive Rock. It was on 11 o'clock, I think, or midnight on Tuesday nights. And I used to listen to it every Tuesday. I remember it was so hard to get that station. I had to get the antenna of the radio just right. You know, it was a university station, so I guess they didn't have a strong signal. And I used to always listen to that show, and I swear I taped everything that he played. I had so many tapes of songs that Brian Taylor played on his Aggressive Rock show, including a few by Dead Kennedys, but that was it. I never got any of their albums at the time in the 80s or beyond that. I did have, and today I should mention, this is Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. There it is there. I did have it on CD much later. There it is, and it's the same thing, but it's a little bit smaller because they're compact. They're CDs. The C stands for compact, and there it is there. But man, oh man, they're one of these bands that when I listen to them, I think, why do I not, listen to this band more? Or why don't I know more about this band or have more time and effort invested in this band? And I hope that'll change, because man, they're just so good. Very, very, for considering how charged and controversial and very direct their lyrics were, it's kind of surprising how successful they were. They're not a commercial band at all. Despite that, I think a lot of their music, including a few songs on this album, are quite. They're not commercial, but they're very catchy. Dead Kennedys were really catchy songs. Some very heavy, very aggressive, but also some really kind of catchy, cool stuff. They had I think I didn't realize it at the time because I just saw them as a punk band, but they had a real cool surf, especially guitar, the surf guitar sound. And I was never really into that music, but I am at least familiar with it enough now, at least, to know that. And I have to say, Jello Biafra, the singer, I think he's got to be the worst singer ever, and I mean that in the best way. And how can I explain this? And I think people would agree. And I'm wondering. I'm not wondering. I know Mike Pratt hates Dead Kennedys. If he's heard some songs of theirs, he's got to have heard something over the years. Mike, tell me how much you hate or how little you care about Dead Kennedys, just so I know that I'm right. God, now I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Jello Biafra. Just a terrible singer in terms of actual singing skill. He's awful, but he's perfect. Nobody could sing as well, as could be as suitable a singer for Dead Kennedys as Jello Biafra was, which kind of reminds me of another band from San Francisco called Faith No More, and their first singer Chuck Mosley, and I'm just about maybe the biggest Faith No More fan you'll ever meet. And Chuck Mosley, and I love those first two records with him. We Care a Lot and Introduce Yourself, especially Introduce Yourself, is maybe even my second favorite Faith No More album. He's not a good singer, but he sings those Faith No More songs perfectly, and that's how I feel about Jello Biafra from Dead Kennedys, singing Dead Kennedys songs. Yeah, so I think, can I get into it track by track? Because I don't have a long or a large or a strong history with Dead Kennedys, I do have to, I had to resort to writing notes today. I'm kind of familiar with it enough that I almost felt like I could have, but I needed training wheels. I needed training wheels, just like a bicycle. I needed training wheels to help me get through this. So I can, I'll open this up now, and it does have a hype sticker there. It says, the classic album of California hardcore, remastered from original studio tapes, includes double-sided poster, which I guess the poster is in the CD. There's and this has the smallest, tiniest, most impossible print to read. You want to talk about I don't know, straining your eyes? Impossible to read the lyrics. How do you read those lyrics? A magnifying glass might not even do the trick. But I'm going to guess that the what did it say? 2 foot by 2 foot poster. I guess is going to be this. I believe it's a collage, they call it. Like that or like this. Probably this is the poster. And yeah, there are the lyrics there. You just can't read them. Anyway, cool collage anyway. So I'll guess that's what's inside. This will be my first Dead Kennedys vinyl, so ooh, it's exciting. Let me put this back. And I don't know what fresh fruit for rotting vegetables means. I have no idea. Haven't got a clue. And all right, I'll open this up and see what's inside. This is always the most exciting part of any video. It seems that the sleeve is just a plain white sleeve, and then I guess the poster. Let's take a look. All right, so yeah, it's just a plain white sleeve. 2 different labels. There's that one and that one. And let's see this poster. Oh, sorry. Why did I say 2 foot by 2 foot poster? It just says includes double-sided poster. And look at this. It's just the CD insert, for God's sake. Come on. So now I have 2 copies of the CD insert. You'd think, come on, that's shit. I don't know who's responsible for this. I hope it's not Jello. I would think Jello would be as upset about this as I am. That's really bad. Why you have this whole big, envelope, really? Why wouldn't you make this big so I don't have to strain and I have bionic eyes. I got my eyes replaced. I had bad cataracts 10 years ago. But yeah, it's the exact same. Just, come on, man. I'll pay another $1 or $2 to make this full size. That's actually quite silly that's in there. Shame on Manifesto Records. This was I'm not sure if this was Jello's label or something. And something else about Jello. He's a funny guy. He seems like he would be the most unfun guy at any party that he goes. It's such an internet meme or cliche to say, I bet you're fun at parties. But he seems to dislike everything. He's got a problem with everything, which punks generally do, or at least did back then. And I used to listen to his podcast. He's got a podcast fairly regularly. It's called the WWJD, What Would Jello Do? And he's still kind of got the same attitude. He's, ranting, raving about stuff. I think he's a little bit more reasonable now than he was 40, 45 years ago, whatever. But anyway, and I can remove this. I'll take this out of its sheath. Oh, big mistake doing that. Now I've ground things to a halt. All right, All right, so the first song is it's Kill the Poor, or more specifically, it's kill the poor, kill the poor, kill the poor tonight. And this is an example, especially the opening. I don't need my notes right now, but the opening of this song is it's Jello singing. He's got this. I should say, when I say he's a terrible singer, and again I mean that in a good way. There are some songs, not just on this one, but on just Dead Kennedys in general, that he does sing really good. He sounds strong and powerful, but then when he kind of warbles, he does this really kind of warbly voice, which he does in the intro to Kill the Poor. Efficiency and progress. And that really is how he sounds. Maybe I even sound better than him. Efficiency and progress is ours once more. Now that we have the neutron bomb. And if that sounds bad, and if you've never heard Dead Kennedys, go listen to Kill the Poor, and you'll see that I'm not exaggerating. But I love Kill the Poor. Did I get them right? Kill the Poor. I think I got them right. I think I counted right. It's just a great song, despite its, kind of, dour, I don't know if that's the right word, title, Kill the Poor. It's actually kind of a fun, musically, it's a fun song. All right, let me go to the notes here. It's happy and upbeat, Kill the Poor. Next is Forward to Death. I'm looking forward to death. This is I don't need this fucking world. I don't need this fucking world. This is classic punk song. It's just a real kind of this is real Dead Kennedys. I think this one. Next is When You Get Drafted. Another I don't know what else to say about this, but it's just a classic punk song, and I think this sounds like it could be. I've talked about this before a couple of times. I used to love Anthrax. I still love Anthrax and Overkill, but especially in the mid-'80s, Anthrax with Among the Living and Overkill with Under the Influence. They had these real shouting vocals. Scott Ian doing it on on I Am the Law, Among the Living, Indians, War Dance, things like that. NFL. I thought that Anthrax could do a cover of When You Get Drafted, because I can imagine Scott Ian singing or shouting, "When you get drafted, when you get drafted." That's what I think when I hear that song. Next is Let's Lynch the Landlord. Oh man, this song is amazing. I first heard this song when the aforementioned Faith No More did a cover of it. It was a B-side, I think it was a B-side of, I have no idea, something from either Angel Dust or, I think it was on Angel Dust. Yeah, I think it was on the Songs to Make Love To EP, which was originally the B-side from Midlife Crisis, maybe. And I didn't really like it that much. And as I said, I'm a big Faith No More fan, but I had never heard the original. It was years later when I finally heard the original. Faith No More's version is quite different than the original. It's kind of a lounge, jazzy, kind of a quiet. And the original one is much more like how you would expect Dead Kennedys to play it. And it's got this great, it's not like a punk song like Kill the Poor, When You Get Drafted, I'm Looking Forward to Death. But it's just got kind of like a real great sway to it, or a swing. When You Get Drafted, Let's Lynch the Landlords is amazing. Next is Drug Me, or Drug Me. Just about the fastest vocals you ever heard. This is like Slayer, Hell Awaits, or Necrophobic lyrics, something like that. I don't know how anybody can sing so fast. And I feel like I'm talking fast. And something that I noticed only recently about this, there's this one, Drug Me, and another song, which I'll get to later, that really bring to mind Cadaver. I've talked about the first Cadaver album 6 or 7 months ago. I talked about Abracadaver, I don't know, maybe a month ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago or something. And there's a song on Abracadaver called Liquid Dream, which I mentioned is my favorite song on that album. One of my favorite Cadaver songs ever. And this, only recently, when I've listened to this recently, I thought, this sounds like, and I've never heard Cadaver talk about being influenced by Dead Kennedys, but there's, during the chorus of Drug Me, there's this, I don't know if it's keyboard or an organ or something like that, that really brings to mind for me Liquid Dream by Cadaver. It's an excellent song too. That's during the chorus, the keyboards are in the chorus. Next is Your Emotions. Your Emotions Make You a Monster. Just another good, just a real punk song. This is real punk rock, Your Emotions. Next is Chemical Warfare, which is not to be confused with the Slayer song, Chemical Warfare. Actually, it's, I guess, Chemical Warfare, Chemical Warfare, Chemical Warfare, 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 Chemical Warfare, Chemical Warfare, Chemical Warfare, Warfare, Warfare. Love that, Warfare. I said Warfare, Warfare. Love that song too, and I especially love at the end, it's got kind of a false ending. You think it stops, and then there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, Chemical Warfare, Chemical Warfare. Love it. Just killer song, that is. Fantastic. Side 2, this would be now 14 songs on this album, but the album is only 33, 34, no more than 35 minutes. So the first song on side 2 is California Über Alles. Now this is a great song. This is one that I've known for years. One of a few on this album that I'm really, really familiar with. And this was originally a single. I guess this album came out in 80 or 81? 1980. And I think the single, California Über Alles, came out, I don't know when it came out, sometime before this record. And it's quite different. I like the album version better. It's definitely much more upbeat, a little faster, more intense, more, I don't know, just more everything, more good things. The single version is a little bit, it's not slow, but it doesn't have the same pacing as this one on the album. This really has some real metal riffing in the I Am Governor Jerry Brown. That is real metal. And I think I have a tendency, as you know, there's another song that I'll get to that also is kind of like that, and some other Dead Kennedys songs that are a little bit more on the metal side than some of their other songs. But and also on the bridge, I guess, of California Über Alles. Now it's 1984. Knock, knock on your back door, on your front door. Knock, knock on your front door, on your front door. That's really heavy. That's not Iron Maiden or Judas Priest metal, but it is. I would say it's even maybe a little bit of proto thrash. I would say. California Über Alles is a fucking awesome song. Next is I Kill Children. This is, you know, this guy wants to kill everybody. He wants to kill the poor and kill children. He wants to lynch the landlord. But I Kill Children, what's the opening line? It's kind of a creepy spoken word. God told me to skin you alive. Very nice song. And then it goes into this, again, a classic punk riff. Excellent. Next is Stealing People's Mail. Stealing People's Mail. I love the start and stop of it, which kind of reminds me of Soundgarden, which kind of makes me think again, I would have liked to have heard Soundgarden do a cover of Stealing People's Mail, just for that kind of start and stop aspect. More classic punk from Dead Kennedys. This album is fucking awesome. Next is Funland at the Beach. The opening riff of this, it seems like everything reminds me of something. Anthrax has a song called Catharsis on their album Volume 8, which is one of my favorite Anthrax albums, maybe top 3. I feel like I'm almost the only person who bought that album. And the opening riff of, what are we on? Funland at the Beach. Really reminds me of, or I should say Catharsis, because I'd heard Catharsis before I'd heard Funland at the Beach. Very reminiscent, Funland at the Beach and Anthrax, Catharsis. Listen for yourself and see if you agree with me. Drop a comment down below to tell me if you agree that Anthrax, Catharsis, the opening riff, is reminiscent of Dead Kennedys' Funland at the Beach. And it's just another classic punk song. Next is Three in the Head. This is probably my least favorite song. But it's again, I've said it again and again, it's just a classic Dead Kennedys punk rock song. Next is Holiday in Cambodia. Holiday in Cambodia, I feel like is one of the songs, and there are a couple of other, I would say two more Dead Kennedy songs on another record, that I feel like are the songs I've listened to the most in the last 15 years, maybe even more specifically in the next 5 years. It's one that, there are quite a few like this. I can never listen to it once. I listen to it, and when it ends, I listen to it again. It's just, and this also has, I think, some metal aspects to it. It's longer for one. This is, I think it's got to be maybe over 4 minutes, and more Cadaver. I mentioned earlier when I talked about Drug Me, how it reminds me of Liquid Dream by Cadaver on the Abracadaver album. This one, Holiday in Cambodia, again, just like with California Uber Alice, there was a single version of it too. The single version of Holiday in Cambodia is not as different from the album version as California Uber Alice. The single version omits the intro. There's a 20 or 30 second intro of A Holiday in Cambodia on the album that again reminds me of Cadaver. They have a song on their first record, self-titled, called Purple Sage, which I talked about at the time, was also one of my favorite Cadaver songs. My favorite on that album, which I guess by default makes it one of my favorite Cadaver songs ever. Just these kind of weird, effects, and it sounds kind of stark and it sounds kind of serious before the bass comes in. And then there's those kind of, I don't know what it is, but man, this song sounds very, very stark, serious, maybe because of the subject matter too. And I went to Cambodia. I was there last year, and I went to the Tuol Sleng prison, which was the S-21 prison, where they took all the prisoners and then marched them, I think about 20 or 25, 30 kilometers to the killing field. There are many killing fields in Cambodia, but I went to that one, the big one. That was called, what was that killing field called? And it's still there, and it's still pretty much as it was. Obviously, they've cleaned it up, and it's a genocide museum too. It's called I can't remember. But both in the Tuol Sleng S-21 prison and then the killing fields, they have all these items on display and artifacts and pictures and things like that. And they all have captions, and many of the captions are almost direct lines from Holiday in Cambodia, where people dress in black. I remember they talk about why people dressed in black and they had to dye their own clothes. You'll work harder with a gun at your back for a bowl of rice a day. That was mentioned. What's the other line after that? Your head skewered on a stake, because that's what they did. They put people's skulls on a stake. And what's kind of funny about this song is, as I said, it sounds kind of stark and serious and dark. And I wish I had the musical knowledge to be more specific about this. But I guess it's the second verse, and then again the second verse after the first chorus. There's the one that starts with playing ethnic jazz to parade your snaz on your $5,000 stereo. The music really changes at that point, and it kind of it sounds more happy and upbeat, similar to Kill, 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 Kill the Poor. But Holiday in Cambodia. Oh, and I guess one main difference between the single version of Holiday in Cambodia and the album version, the album version has. Did I say studio version? The single version and the album version. God, I'm racing. Towards the end is Jello saying pole, pot, and in the album version he does that pole, pot, and he goes pole, pot, and he becomes more and more intense. That's and then it kind of explodes. Pole, pot, and it's a holiday in Cambodia. Amazing song. Just really can't listen to that song enough. And I think I have a newfound appreciation for that song after visiting Cambodia, because as I said, it really was accurate for what I saw. And then the last song is Viva Las Vegas. Very surprising. I have no idea why they covered this. Seems kind of surprising that a band that's so serious, like maybe they're taking the piss to cover this song. Bright Light City. Gonna set my soul on fire. And they do it, kind of somewhat, the same as the original version. But also, they did Dead Kennedy it up a little bit, and it's kind of goofy and fun. I like it, Viva Las Vegas. Strange choice, but I like it a lot. So that's it for Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. I fucking love this album. This album is really, really good. I've kind of always thought, not always, because I've only really been into Dead Kennedys for, I don't know, some years, I guess now. I've always considered that Plastic Sugary Disasters was my favorite, but I think I would have to listen to that again to make a fair comparison, because this is fresh in my mind. But when I've listened to this in the last few days, maybe it is this one. Maybe it is this. This is my favorite. Yeah, and they're missing their heads. This band. I don't know who that is, but they're missing their heads. So that's it. That was my my dipping my toe into the wonderful world of punk rock music, and including or starting with this Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables by Dead Kennedys. Yes.